Hey guys, before this video begins, be sure to follow me on Twitter at UnrealEntGaming for more Dragon Ball updates, news, information, and videos, as well as Instagram at UnrealDBZ for more memes, images, videos, and content posted on there. Thank you all so much for your support, and without wasting any more time, let's begin. With our heroes now faced off against a seemingly unstoppable opponent, Goku, Vegeta, Hit, and Jiren are now tasked with battling against Hearts, who had now absorbed the powers of the Universal Seed within him. In this latest chapter of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Universal Mission Manga Special, provided by DBS Chronicles over on Twitter, we're going to be taking a look at the alternative battle against Hearts in this latest manga special. As once more before we begin, if you are new to this channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then be sure to smash that subscribe button on this channel and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload, along with giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys love Dragon Ball and anime, as we kick off the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Mission 11 manga chapter special, with Android 17 and Piccolo having to be shown flying from city to city as ordered by the Supreme Kai to try and save as many people as they can. And the second we get to see Piccolo and 17 and having to discuss a plan to try and stop Hearts and his goons, out of nowhere Lags appears in front of both Piccolo and 17, as she immediately knows of 17 and Piccolo's plan in trying to create a diversion to get as many people away from the cities as possible while the other warriors are trying to stop Hearts. And with Lags now having to confront 17 and Piccolo, she goes on to further reassure them that they won't be escaping, especially that Hearts now had absorbed the powers of the Universal Seed, vowing to make all of the gods, including the Omni King, pay for their crimes. What she ends up doing is creating this massive dragon out of glass, as she is hoping to have this dragon basically stop Piccolo and 17 from further executing their plans. And as this dragon goes on to fire a blast at 17 and Piccolo, what 17 ends up doing is the exact same thing we saw during the Tournament of Power, and that's put up a barrier to shield himself and Piccolo from this blast. And given the idea that we really never got to see this in the promotional anime with Lags having to confront 17 and Piccolo, here things appear to be a tad bit different. Rather than having 17 and Piccolo fight Hearts, we have 17 and Piccolo actually working together in trying to come up with a different plan to save the Earth's people, as only then we get to see how Lags is creating these massive spikes that are seemingly made of glass. As we then get to see the spikes go through Piccolo's cape, Lags is beginning to wonder as to what exactly happened to Piccolo, because we see how the glass went through his cape and through his outfit, but there's no Piccolo in sight. So now the primary focus is Lags having to battle against 17, as of course we understand now that 17 is the only one on the battlefield, while Piccolo, seemingly enough, is doing something within the shadows to try and come up with a diversion or a plan to catch Lags off guard, as 17 is then shown still maintaining the barrier as long as he possibly could to give Piccolo more time in coming up with this plan to finally stop Lags. And with 17 having to be shown holding his own against Lags, Lags then begins to wonder as to what exactly happened to Piccolo, as Piccolo out of nowhere appears right by the side of Lags, and he fires a massive special beam cannon directly at the dragon, which basically disintegrates the glass dragon right then and there. And with Lags looking down, she originally thought that she got Piccolo, given the fact that her glass seemed to have went through his cape, but she didn't realize the fact that this was all in Piccolo's plan, was to charge up for the special beam cannon, show up behind the dragon and blasting it away completely. And then what ends up happening is Android 17 ends up getting behind Lags, and in traditional 17 fashion, we get to see how he then charges up for this electric attack and then using it to basically immobilize her. Lags has no chance in having to serve her purpose in this battle because she basically lost. She can't do anything against Piccolo and 17's strategy. However, elsewhere, we then get to see how Hearts is finally complete. He had absorbed the powers of the Universal Seed, just as we've seen be done in the promotional anime, and with Goku, Vegeta, Jiren, Hit, all of them looking on, it's now a 4-on-1 battle with everyone having to look on, and I love how Goku and Vegeta are still retaining their Super Saiyan Blue forms, Grand Priest Goku actually having to still be a thing, and Vegeta still remaining in that Super Saiyan Blue evolution form. With Hit and Jiren there, what they end up doing is they're trying to come up with somewhat of a strategy to try and throw Hearts off guard, being the fact that they know that Hearts now is incredibly powerful, and what Hearts ends up doing is taunting everyone, and this really prompts everyone to then jump in. As Jiren, Goku, Vegeta, and Hit take the lead, they immediately jump in, and just as we've seen be done in the promotional anime, they try and attack Hearts, but rather than actually making contact, right before they're actually able to do so, what Hearts ends up doing is not only dodging all of their attacks, but spinning them in a circle and then dropping them all down onto the ground. So Hearts didn't even throw a singular shot back at them, but all he ended up doing was standing there as he took 4 of the strongest warriors in the multiverse, spun them in a circle, and slammed them directly down onto the ground. And with that being said, as we get to see them all try to stand back up, Vegeta seems to be struggling, Jiren is back up on his feet, and the only person here that is about to do something on his own accord to go into business for himself is Hit, because what Hit ends up saying to himself is that there has to be somewhat of an opening for Hearts in order for him to find a weak point for everyone to utilize and execute on, but what he ends up doing instead is trying to quickly tap into his time skip to see exactly if he can find such an opening, and what he ends up noticing is that these orbs are surrounding Hearts, and then having to figure out exactly what Hearts had been doing in having these orbs surround him, and Hearts being Hearts, he immediately was able to understand what Hit just did and actually congratulates him on figuring out exactly what Hearts had been up to, but Hearts doesn't seem to be bothered, Hearts doesn't seem to be concerned. Instead, all he does is congratulate him and then proceeds to once again kick everybody's ass as we get to see Goku once again hit the ground, but with Goku having to bounce back up, we then get to see how Hearts uses the exact same gravity-like maneuver that he did in the promotional anime on Goku again, and just by easily then having to snap his fingers, Goku just ends up hitting the ground directly beneath him, in having to not only hit the ground with such force, but this prompts Vegeta and Jiren for everybody to get involved, and what Hearts ends up doing instead right before everyone's about to jump in again is he ends up creating this massive cube-like object in which it ends up slamming itself directly down onto the ground on everyone, and as everyone is shown literally eating the dirt, Jiren is struggling to stand up, Vegeta is struggling to stand up, and with Hearts having to understand only now that these mortals simply don't want to refute what the gods have done, because Hearts' main objective here is to destroy the gods, that way there is no hierarchy, and he's baffled as to why nobody else is choosing to join him, but understands that this is why the gods must fall, is because of the errors of their ways in allowing mortals like this to believe what they believe and side with the gods. And this is why Hearts also listens to the cries of humanity, as only then we get to see how Hearts is now beginning to shed tears, because his whole ideology is to massacre all of the gods, the Kaioshins, the gods of destruction, the angels, the Grand Priest, and more importantly the Omni King, and he's floored as to why the mortals simply don't want to live in harmony in not having to be governed by such beings, but only then understands exactly what he has to do, and that's have a total reset in annihilating everything. So Hearts' idea right now is to get rid of everything now and having this massive reset happen to where there is no god, there are no deities to govern mortals, and mortals can now choose to live how they want to live. So what he ends up doing is bringing in this massive meteor from space, which a lot of people, including myself, really found to be corny, because out of all things he could have done, all he ends up doing is infusing his power with this meteor. So it's a little cliche if you ask me, but as soon as we get to see this meteor enter the atmosphere, what our heroes end up doing is not only struggle to stand back up, but Hearts having to tell everyone that this is it. All of your loved ones, Bulma, Trunks, Bra, Pan, Chi-Chi, they're all going to die. Everyone's going to die, and the first person actually that ends up standing up is Vegeta. and in a noble fashion, with Vegeta having to fight for his wife, for his kids, he powers up as again, he's struggling to stand up and he's crying out for Goku. Vegeta is crying out for Goku because this is it. In order for them to actually get the job done and finally beat this dude, they're going to have to combine their powers. So with Vegeta having to cry out for Goku and now using fusion, the manga chapter ends with Vegeta having to scream at Goku for them to use fusion, as of course we get to see how Goku's again also trying to stand up as Jiren and Hit are at the same time. It's Vegeta's idea for them to fuse while still being pushed down by Hearts' gravity attack, and we also have a translation be done by Cypher over on Twitter, as the translations for the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Mission Chapter number 11 goes as follows. Piccolo and number 17 rush to join up with Goku and the others in their battle against Hearts. Number 17 asks if they'll be okay with just 2 of them since their opponents apparently have the means to defeat even the Omni King. Piccolo chides him for getting cold feet. Gohan and the others will be joining them as well, as soon as they finished evacuating nearby cities per Kaioshin's order. The two are intercepted by Lags, who summons a gigantic dragon made of glass, which assails the two with a beam. Number 17 keeps the blast at bay with a barrier. Lags continues her glass attacks and notices Piccolo's capes and turban skewered by some spikes on the ground. Number 17 fires a barrage from a distance as Lags uses her float mirror ability to try to bounce the blast back, but is surprised when they instead turn into smoke. Continuing to lay into number 17, she asks if it's simply his intention to buy time. He responds that it is. Piccolo emerges having to charge up for a massive Makanko Sampo, or the special beam cannon, which he uses to destroy Lags' dragon. In the destruction, number 17 sneaks up behind Lags, mocking her for falling into their trap, and unleashes an electric attack into her back, incapacitating her. Elsewhere, Goku, Vegeta, Jiren, and Hit face down Hearts, powered up into a new form with the Universal Seed. They try attacking him at once, but are bounced backward without being able to land a single hit. Hit uses Time Skip to look into the area around Hearts and notices a cluster of gravity spheres orbiting him. Moving too quickly to be seen and rebounding them when they attack, Hearts congratulates Hits for figuring out his technique. Goku figures they just have to take care to dodge the spheres, but is tripped up on a subsequent attack by Hearts named Stop Anti and Press techniques, which use the spheres to restrict, repel, and slam Goku onto the ground, as Hearts then unleashes a massive gravity finale technique to engulf the entire area in a massive dome of gravity, preventing Jiren and the others from so much as standing. As it then continues, Hearts says that he can't understand why they, as fellow mortals, should not want the freedom he offers. He begins to hear the thoughts of ordinary citizens of the Earth, terrified and upset by another alien invader attacking the Earth, wondering if Mr. Satan will save them, etc. He breaks down in tears, realizing that the mortals of this planet have already been completely taken in by the gods. He takes the Earthlings' rejection as further proof that the gods need to be destroyed at once, along with the mortals of this planet, in need of a total reset. Hearts begins pulling a meteor down from space. As Vegeta realizes Hearts' plan, he calls out to Goku. Given their current enemy's power, the only way out will be fusion, to be continued next month. Now, the events of the manga are obviously very different in comparison to the anime, and the anime I think had potential to really give us some cool moments involving Hit and Jiren, Goku, and Vegeta, but instead, the minute they went in there with Hearts, I understand the idea that they want to develop Hearts as being this unstoppable entity, and in thus resulting in Goku and Vegeta having to use fusion to stop this dude, but I also feel like the manga actually takes its time, where as the anime is very, very rushed and everything is just kind of clunked in together, which kind of doesn't make any sense, especially when given the narrative that in the manga it's established that Jiren is the strongest warrior in the entire multiverse, right? In the manga. In the anime, it's implied that he is, but not really, you know, because in the manga, we see everybody fight Hearts, including Jiren, but here, it's just 4 individuals, Goku, Vegeta, Jiren, and Hit, and in the anime, it's 17, Trunks, Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, Hit, Jiren, so we have about 8 guys in the anime versus 4 guys in the manga. So in the end, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you guys prefer the manga over the anime, or or the anime over the manga, because we are going to get Gogeta for the next issue of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes manga, and however that's going to be portrayed is going to be much different than what we saw in the actual episode of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. But in the end, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below about the overall direction for the manga and what you guys prefer from each, from the anime and the manga. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. If of course you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload. The road to 1 million subscribers continues. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links will be located down below, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace. And the quick little reminder before you guys go, if you guys are unaware, I do have a second gaming channel located down in the description box below, so be sure to head on over to Unreal Royale and hit that subscribe button along with turning on all notifications, as to there, you guys will find all different kinds of gaming content that you will not get to find on UnrealEntGaming, titles and video games such as Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Z Legends, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Minecraft, Blair Witch, and many other retro games on that channel. So if you guys are into gaming, then make sure you guys subscribe over on Unreal Royale. I want to thank you all so much for your time, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck's up, on? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Frieza.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!
But once you get video, lots of likes, or Bill will turn you into chocolate! Vados, get over here! Tell these mortals that I'm the biggest UnrealEntGaming fan. This is my moment. I'm a part of his notification squad. Universe 7 can have all the fun. I just want the food.
And don't forget to leave a comment on this video. Show some love for the best community on YouTube.
Kakarot!